All right, we're back for our live Q&A. I'm Chris, career vice pastor here. Here with the lead pastor, Matt Dawson.
Hello.
So week one, or part one of what happens when, talking about the tension between our faith and fear. And so how are we managing that? We talked a little bit today about how managing the tension with culture in our faith. So we had a question come in that we're going to tackle. It's I'll try and read through it as easy as I can. So hopefully it makes good sense. So the person texting in questioned what we described as grace today in terms of securing our vertical relationship.
Yes.
Reading from their perspective, they said, I felt your description was one of mercy. Isn't grace better described as the ability or power to not engage in sin and not just the covering of sin we've committed or will commit?
Well, you can describe it that way. Yeah. I mean,
It's an aspect.
I think I understand that. Yeah, it's definitely an aspect of grace. An aspect of grace is part of sanctification where we now have the power and freedom to not engage in sin. That's a part. That's actually what we talked about, was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So I could challenge you to go back to that as well in terms of the new man. I think that's what we talked about. But, because, he talked about mercy in the Beatitudes. Grace is mentioned in Romans. Paul talks about grace all the time. I mean, the way in which, usually it's a baseline described is mercy is sort of withholding something you deserve.
Yes.
I mean, mercy is withholding what you deserve, but grace is giving you something you don't deserve. And so I think that to me is sort of the baseline that we use when we talk about grace. When we say grace is that there's nothing we can do to make God love you anymore, and there's nothing you have done that makes him love you any less. When we talk about grace from that's our value, the way we state our value. We talk about grace from that perspective because we want people to understand on the baseline that it's an unmerited characteristic. It is not something you can earn, and it's not even something you deserve. It's not something you deserve or earn. So, for me, I want to stay with that baseline aspect of grace. No, I think grace is the power to not have to, part of grace is the power to not have to engage in sin because we have the power in Christ that he gave us, which is grace. But mercy is also just a part of that. Mercy's, I don't know, are they hand in hand?
I feel like it's two sides of the same tool.
Okay,
you know
there
what I mean?
you go.
So not two sides of the same coin, but it's kind of like with a hammer. Like a hammer can also pound things in, but you can also claw stuff up. To where with I know it's really good.
That's really good, man. That's good.
That's off the cuff. But I mean, like with exactly like what you said, like mercy is all about withholding, and grace is all about giving.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. Good question, though. Thank you for sending that in.
I had another one about culture. So we got talking about this, and I forgot. It's okay. It was just one off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't know. Is there anything else you got to say?
No, that was good, man.
Yeah, that was good.
I enjoyed the day, and looking forward to this. Next week is relationships. Family.
Yes.
And I actually, 3 weeks ago, is going to be progress in science, and that's going to be really cool.
If you enjoyed today, you're going to enjoy this series. So make sure you tune back next week for part 2. On Mother's Day, we're going to have some really cool stuff going on, so check that out. And we'll see you then.
Thanks.
See you.